Hey, this is Lee Swanner with Swanner Landscaping and Irrigation, and I'm going to start. I'm going to start a landscaping business here in Melbourne, Florida, and we're going to start from scratch with 0 customers, 0 leads, from scratch with nothing but an old pickup truck. And I'm going to document it and show you how to do it. We're going to turn it to $1 million business. And we're going to do that over the course of a couple of years. I think it's going to take a couple of years, maybe 2 to 3. I could probably do it faster than that, but I'm working with the basics, and I'm going to show you how to build something out of nothing. And it's easy to do. And one of the things that, when you're starting a business, if it's a trade business, a sales business, or some type of professional business, and you're starting from scratch, you don't know where to get any work at. And maybe you don't have any money to advertise, or you don't want to be dependent on passive leads or passive advertising. And you ask yourself, well, how can I get work and start working today? And I'm going to tell you how to do that. You already know the very first thing you got to do, $20, call Vistaprint, go online and order you some business cards. You have to have business cards. There's just no way around that. And they're inexpensive. They don't have to be really nice. They just have to be clear with your company name, your name, and the phone number on it. That's all that's got to be on there. So I went and got me some shirts printed up. Here's the front, and you can see the back on these. I got these done the other day. I've done a couple little jobs so far, and every little bit I'm making over my basic needs, I'm plowing back into my work. So whether it's buying tools, buying materials, obviously you can't buy 10 fittings. You got to buy a case here. So we're accumulating materials, we're accumulating tools, but you obviously you want some marketing material. So you want your people to be in uniform. You're going to have to hire somebody to help you. You need one guy. Everybody needs one guy. So the very first thing you do is when you start doing your bids, you want to price in what your minimum per day is going to be. And then, obviously there's overhead costs and variable expenses and those types of things. And we'll cover all that as we go. But the first thing you got to know is how to get work. And so leave off getting help at this stage of the game. The most important thing is asking yourself, how do I get work? And here's something. You learned this when you were a kid. You had to learn how to, you knew how to do this when you were a kid. You knocked on people's doors. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, my name's Lee Swanner. I'm in the landscaping business. I live right around the corner. You remember when you were a kid and you had a lawnmower, your mom said, hey, look, if you want any allowance or you want any kind of money at all, you're going to have to go out and get it for yourself. And so they kind of walk you through. This is Miss Smith, and Miss Smith, hey, Lee, oh yeah, I know you from church, or I know you from school. Hey, can I mow your yard? I'll do it for $10. Whatever it was. But you learned how to interact with people and ask them for work. And that's the number one thing that you have to know, is that first of all you have to believe in yourself. You have to be able to speak to people, be able to confidently address people, and that's a skill that you have to develop. And but it doesn't, it takes a lot of nerve to walk up to somebody's door, knock on the door, and they open the door. They're already defensive. Who's this bald-headed guy with a beard? Looks like he just got out of prison. But that's the thing. You got to put a smile on your face. You have to back out of the door after you knock on the door. Have your card in your hand, and they're going to say, "Hello, how can I help you?" Say, "Hey, man, my name's Lee Swanner. I live around the corner. I'm your neighbor." Okay, say that. I live around the corner. I'm your neighbor. I have a landscaping business, and I was just walking around knocking on doors to see if you might have some work I could do. We do this, that, and the other. They're going to say, no, but I'll take your card. Or they're going to say, yeah, I've got some trees. Do you do trees? And you're going to say, absolutely, we do trees. They're going to say, well, hey, do you weed beds? Absolutely, we weed beds. So, you can put up yard signs. You can get signs and buy signs and go on Facebook and buy advertising. But I'm going to tell you something. The number one way to get business, this is true in anything that has to do with a person's home, from real estate all the way down to landscaping. if it involves their home, the best way to get business from people is at their freaking home. And nobody's going to shoot you for knocking on the door. Okay? I've had people that are defensive, hey, there's no soliciting here. You just got to remember, this guy don't want to do anything, but the guy next door does. And so you just keep trucking. You have to keep going. And so, you knock on, and look, I have never gone out and knocked on doors and had to knock on 100 freaking doors. You don't have to do that. By the time you get to the end of the street, someone is going to say, yeah, I've been thinking about getting my grass redone, but doggone it, I just don't know who to call. Well, ma'am or sir, always being respectful, always looking them straight in the eye, and being deferential, respectful. Don't be obsequious. Don't be smarmy and try to butter them up. Don't manipulate the people. Just be straight and frank with them. That's what they want. They want a professional. They want somebody that they can count on, somebody that they can trust, and somebody that is going to do what they say they're going to do. It's very easy. All you have to do is show up. The bar is so low that all you have to do is show up. So the fact is we're going to build a landscaping business, and we're going to build it from scratch. And I'm going to tell you right now, I got a 2002 truck out there that's got 250,000 miles on it and a big old dent in my side. And I have, a little bit of some hand tools, a wheelbarrow, and I got nothing more than that. I've got my, pipe cutters and, but the fact is I'm starting from scratch, and I want to show you how to do this. And it doesn't take a lot of knowledge. It just takes a little bit of dedication. You have to, and that's the key, man, is deciding what you want to do and committing to that and dedicating yourself to, hey, I'm going to do this. And like the man said, you may not make it, but I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. If I can tell you how you're not going to make it, and that is not to keep trying. And this is easy, man. And I'm in Melbourne, Florida, and I'm going to tell you there must be 10,000 landscaping companies around here. But you know what? That's even better. So that means that this market can support that many landscaping business. And if you believe in yourself at all, you're better than 80% of them off the bat. So you gotta compete with 20% of them. And how do you do that? You're a professional. You address people professionally. You address them frankly. You don't beat around the bush, and you don't cut your price, man. The thing about it is, we get into kind of where your pricing is going to be, and obviously everybody's a little different. But you got to cover your costs. You got to cover your fixed costs. You got to cover the cost of the job, and you got to, there's a lot that goes into that, but not really. Honestly, it's, X amount per day that you want or that you need. And so there's a lot to it, but we're going to do it together, and I'll show you how to do this. And it's easy. You just got to stay dedicated, man. And we'll see you next time.